Max Verstappen must be feeling like he's stepped into an alternate reality of Formula One lately. The reigning world champion hasn't tasted victory since Barcelona, and McLaren's cars are now consistently outpacing the RB20 across various circuit layouts. Max Verstappen was criticised for his pre-Grand Prix nocturnal activities following the Hungarian Grand Prix, and having sounded out of sorts on the radio all afternoon, speculation quickly turned to whether this was due to the world's champion having been sim racing until 3 a.m. the morning of the race in Budapest. Red Bull's sporting director, Helmut Marko, initially brushed off these claims. However, the rumour mill didn't stop turning, leading to heated discussions within the team about Verstappen's habits before a race. Adding fuel to the fire, Verstappen's recent choice to skip late-night sim races before a Grand Prix seems to lend credence to these internal debates. Was F1 world champion Max Verstappen in such a bad mood at the 2024 Hungarian Grand Prix because he had been taking part in sim racing events on the internet late into the night? What Red Bull sporting director Helmut Marko dismissed as nonsense on Austrian broadcaster ORF at the weekend has now been given a whole new twist in his Speed Week column. In the column in question, Marko writes, Max's late-night sim race over the weekend in Hungary only came about because a driver in his team dropped out. Nevertheless, we have agreed that he will not drive simulations at such late hours in the future. This development sharply contrasts with the public statements made by Red Bull team principal Christian Horner. At the Hungarian Grand Prix, Horner asserted that Verstappen, renowned for his exceptional driving skills, fully grasped the rigorous demands of Formula One. However, Horner also acknowledged that any discussions regarding improvements would be kept behind closed doors rather than aired publicly. This remark subtly hinted at ongoing internal deliberations, which have seemingly resulted in the decision to limit Verstappen's late-night sim racing sessions at the circuits. It seems the internal discussion Horner mentioned has indeed taken place, culminating in a new team policy. Moving forward, Verstappen's late-night virtual racing sessions at F1 venues will be restricted. While defending Verstappen's actions, Marko cited a previous instance to demonstrate that sim racing doesn't impair a driver's performance. He recalled the 2024 Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, where Verstappen stayed up until 3 in the morning playing sim racing games, yet went on to clinch victory later that day. Marko emphasised that Verstappen has a different sleep rhythm and had still managed to get his necessary 7 hours of sleep before the Hungarian race. Verstappen's passion for sim racing is well known and dates back to before his stellar F1 career. As a key driver for the Red Line team, he has participated in countless virtual racing events. In the 2024 season, he competed under his own team, Verstappen.com Racing, with sponsorship from Red Bull. His virtual racing accomplishments are remarkable, notably winning the 24 hours of the Nürburgring Nordschleife, mere hours before claiming victory in the real-world Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in Imola. For Verstappen, this entails tweaking his nightly virtual racing routine to ensure he's in top shape for his F1 commitments. Recent changes within the Red Bull team indicate a newfound emphasis on rest and recovery, even for a driver as extraordinary as Verstappen. A recently resurfaced clip of Max Verstappen's race engineer Giampiero Lambiase sheds light on his greatest fear: the possibility of Verstappen's frustration erupting over the team radio if their winning streak ever ended. Even during Red Bull's dominant era, Verstappen was notorious for candidly voicing his emotions to Lambiase. Though GP made this remark in a light-hearted manner, he subtly implied that the day they stopped winning would indeed be a cause for genuine worry. Verstappen responded by recalling past seasons where they faced similar challenges and expressed confidence that they would overcome the current hurdles, even if the present situation suggested otherwise. He elaborated on their relationship, highlighting the mutual respect that underpins their dynamic, despite the intense and occasionally heated exchanges. Verstappen admitted that his raised voice on the radio was the result of adrenaline and a desire to perform at his best. He described how their fiery conversations were a way of achieving optimal results and underlined the importance of respect in their dynamic. Verstappen was criticised for his comments after the race and questioned as to whether he owed GP an apology. He replied, "Those who didn't like his messages should go home and f*** off." Sky F1's Naomi Schiff described Max's attitude as disrespectful, stating, "Thinking about what Max said about staying home, I don't know if he's referring to the team members who don't like that or the fans, but I find that quite a disrespectful message." Marko claims, "Max is really angry. We now have to make sure that his mood improves again. Our car has to improve again. Unfortunately, the updates didn't work the way we wanted them to." And while Dr. Marko's future with Red Bull has been agreed to the end of 2020, 2026, he still hinted at why Max would consider leaving for another team. Now, it's all about improving the car again and giving Max a good feeling. Red Bull has opted to install a new internal combustion engine in Verstappen's car for the Spa weekend, resulting in an immediate 10-place grid penalty from wherever he qualifies. The hilly circuit in the Ardennes region is a popular choice for teams to take power unit penalties, as overtaking here is significantly easier than at many other tracks. Although Max currently holds a 76-point lead over Lando Norris, this advantage is likely to shrink further as the teams head into the summer break. Red Bull is reportedly close to reinstating a boycott of all Sky F1 presenters and interviews. The team previously took this action after Ted Kravitz suggested that Max Verstappen had unfairly taken the 2021 World Championship from Lewis Hamilton. Now, Kravitz has upset the world champion driver and team again. In his notebook following the Hungarian Grand Prix, Kravitz gives his opinion that the crash between Hamilton and Verstappen was in fact on Max, not as the stewards had decided it to be, as a racing incident. They did note that while Lewis did not move under braking, he could have done more to prevent the collision. The video has been reviewed in Red Bull Racing, and the senior leadership is unhappy that Sky may once again be using a trope when assessing Red Bull's actions. Nico Rosberg, the 2016 world champion who raced for Mercedes, has added fuel to the speculation that Verstappen might be eyeing a switch to the Silver Arrows. In an interview with Sky Sports, Rosberg stated, "If Max Verstappen, who is one of the 5 best drivers of all time, comes on the market, you have to snap him up immediately." Given Rosberg's history with Mercedes and his deep understanding of Formula One team dynamics, his words carry significant weight. His comments indicate that the rumours of Verstappen's potential move are not baseless, and that substantive discussions may be happening behind the scenes. Initially, it seemed Red Bull's internal conflicts could be kept under wraps, especially given their dominant standing. Verstappen was expected to easily secure the 2024 title and, potentially, the 2025 championship, given Red Bull's impressive performance in 2023. However, this dominance began to falter, most notably at the Austrian GP, where despite Verstappen's 7 wins out of 10 races, McLaren's rising form and Mercedes's resurgence posed significant threats. The notion that winning races and championships can conceal deep-seated issues is well known in F1. Red Bull's anticipated dominance was thought to provide a buffer against internal discord. However, the recent dip in performance has exposed vulnerabilities that might influence Verstappen's future decisions. The evolving competitive landscape, with McLaren and Mercedes closing the gap, presents a new challenge for Red Bull and weakens their previously unassailable position. With Red Bull having maxed out the development potential of their car, their current challenge is to extract additional performance within stringent limits. The team faces constraints from the aerodynamic testing restrictions and the cost cap, hindering their ability to implement significant changes. In contrast, rivals like McLaren, Mercedes, and Ferrari possess more flexible design philosophies, enabling continuous improvements. Red Bull's predicament is exacerbated by the technical limitations of their current car design philosophy. Adrian Newey's rigid suspension setup provided a stable aerodynamic platform, but struggled on bumpy, twisting street circuits. This compromise was acceptable when Red Bull enjoyed a considerable advantage, but it now presents a formidable challenge as the competition heats up. Do you think Max Verstappen's late-night sim racing is affecting his performance on the track, or is it just an excuse for Red Bull's recent struggles? Share your thoughts in the comments below.